Okay, let's do this. We are live. Good to see everybody. It is, what is it? Friday, February 21, 2025, 8:02 a.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is 11:02 a.m. Eastern time. So hopefully we're covering all the different time zones. Once again, got a lot of stuff going on here. We have the Surface laptop for business. I got it with Lunar Lake. Obviously, this one came in yesterday, and I unboxed it already. The reason I did that is because of the updates that needed to come through. So we're able to see some more stuff today. I was able to run some benchmarks on this bad boy. So this is in black. I have the silver here. You can probably, you can see it here. This is the 15-inch that I have with the Snapdragon, right? So this says Lunar Lake. This is Snapdragon. Now, keep in mind, I had to go out of pocket for this. So I purchased this with my own money. It's not cheap. I think it starts at about $1,500 and goes up from there. Now, again, limited budget here. I didn't want to blow the budget because I bought that X9. I bought a lot of stuff that we're going to look at in coming up also. So I got the Core Ultra 5 on this one. I got actually I got the entry level, the one you should not get, and we'll talk about it. Although the performance is very good on the Core Ultra 5 236V. So unlike the 226V, this is a little bit different. I guess Microsoft has an exclusive on this chip. I don't know. But this one, you can get a little bit higher clock speeds on this one. That's at least what I saw so far. A pretty nice performance. You're not going to see a huge difference between the Core Ultra 7 268V, which is what this can go up to, or the 236V, which is what I have here today. So I have a link in the description below. It's not an affiliate link to their Microsoft for Surface business site where you can actually buy it. So they're not marketing this towards consumers, and it's kind of curious. I'm not really sure why, but they're not. So I got it in black here, and as you can see, it's pretty nice looking here. Now I've been using it, and the fingerprints are not that bad actually. I have the silver here, which you could also get it. The two colors you can get it are silver and the black. You don't get the other colors like you get with the Snapdragon consumer version, so just keep that in mind. But I will say this black looks really nice. You can get a nice top-down shot here, and you want to see the difference in the keyboards. You can see this is a lighter gray versus the black on black. So you let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Very nice. I got to tell you, build is pretty fantastic on this. Okay, So we're gonna look at these two together. Obviously, you can get this in a 13.8 inches with what I have here. You could also get it in a 15-inch variant. So it just depends on what you need. I have the 15-inch. I have it in silver. So I said, let me go 13.8 inches and let me go with the black, right? So just something a little bit different to shake things up. All right, we have over 100 people here today. So it looks like it's a pretty good turnout so far. It's not marketed towards consumers, and I think they should. I'll be honest with you, but we'll see what happens in terms of what they plan to do down the road. I don't really know what their roadmap is. Now, I actually bought this, like I said, so I didn't get a review unit from Microsoft for those wondering, and they don't even return my email. So I don't think at this point they're going to want to involve me in their reviews or anything like that, and which is fine, right? So I go out and I buy it. So do me a favor to help support the channel. There are a few ways you can do that to help me buy more products. There are super chats, super stickers, memberships on a monthly basis certainly helps. And I am making a push towards 200,000 subscribers. And what does that mean for you? Well, it means you're going to get more content because as the channel grows, I'm able to get better deals with brands, not necessarily being paid. What I mean is they're going to see that I have great reach and they're going to send me products that I wouldn't normally have access to. Now, case in point, back there, you probably can see it there. I have the Asus ROG Strix Halo. It's the Asus ROG Flow Z13, and I got to tell you, it's been pretty amazing so far. Maybe if we have some time, maybe we'll do a goal. If we have like 5 super chats, we can take a look at it here today. All right, so what we're here for is this one right now, and this one is, of course, the Surface laptop for business. They call it, that's what they call it. I'm assuming it's the Surface laptop for business version 7 or Series 7 or whatever the hell they're calling it, or whatever, right? They call it Surface laptop for business, and Intel Lunar Lake. So what does Intel Lunar Lake processor bring to the table? Better efficiency. I'm expecting really good battery life out of this. I'm expecting really good efficiency, right? So the initial benchmarks that I've run so far, cool, quiet, so not very loud. In fact, probably one of the quietest Windows laptops I've seen in a very long time. So they were able to do that. And I've also seen pretty good efficiency. I haven't had it enough time, obviously, to run my battery test yet, but I will do my battery test for the full review. So that, of course, is what it is. Now, somebody's asking about the cost. I'm going to say hello to everybody. I promise you, I'm looking at the chat right now, but we have limited time. Got a lot of people. So let's get the specs and pricing onto the stream here, and then we'll say hello to a few people, obviously. So here we have the Surface laptop for business. This is the 13.8-inch version. You can get it in the 15-inch, of course. The resolution of the display, and they're calling it the Pixel Sense Flow display, 2304 by 1536. And yes, that is a 3:2 aspect ratio. It has a dynamic refresh rate up to 120 hertz, 600 nits of peak brightness, and I measured that, by the way. So yes, definitely can hit that 600. And it also has, you can get this up to, I don't know why it says Intel footnote, but it says up to an Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, the 268V. Same thing on that one. I should have looked at that before I did that. Intel Arc Graphics 1632. So you can get this with either 16 or 32 gigabytes of memory. It's the very fast 8533 megatransfers per second. You can't go above 32, and the reason is it's a limitation of Lunar Lake. Remember, the RAM or the memory is integrated on the chip, so you cannot go above that. You can get 256, 512, or 1 terabyte, right? 54 watt-hour battery, Wi-Fi 7, and Bluetooth 5.4. So those are some of the specs so far, and we will see the weight in just a moment here. So you're looking at just a shade under 3 pounds at 1.35 kilograms, 1080p Full HD webcam, IR. That means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. I love that. You can comes in black and platinum, of course, and you can get it obviously with these different processors here, from a Core Ultra 5 236V up to a 268V. So pretty interesting. Starting price at $14.99. It goes up from there, and there are a few different variations you can go with. Again, the color scheme is going to be platinum and black. And so, just keep that in mind. And there you can see the black right there. And then, as far as I know, iFixit did a teardown of the Snapdragon version, and I think that one, of course, is going to be very similar to this. So I imagine you could also open this up. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but there is a SSD that is removable inside. It's a 2230, so it's a small form factor, and we'll look at some of the speeds I was able to run on the Crystal Disk Mark test. So yes, you can do that, and it is very good that you can have some serviceability here. So definitely good on that. And even in fact, Microsoft here has a video on how to remove the that 2230 SSD. So nice job there. Whereas years past, you didn't have any serviceability, you have it here. So definitely good stuff here. So that is the specs on the product. Now, a lot of people are asking, well, is this better than the ThinkPad X9? I have it here. We can take a look at them side by side, but let's get a look at the keyboard layout here. And as you can see, this is in the black, and the keyboard is great. So let's give a listen to the keyboard as far as how it sounds. Now, there is a touchpad here. It is a Sensel haptic touchpad, I'm happy to report once again. So that is good. Really, really good so far. So let's give a listen to the keyboard. Yeah, so the haptic touchpad is really good. The keyboard is pretty good as well. I really like this keyboard quite a bit. I've been using it since last night, and I'm telling you, it is a really nice keyboard. It has a multi-stage backlight. Now, here's the display. So one thing I like about it is they're putting a nicer anti-reflective coating on it, although it is glossy, and I do have a lot of studio lights here. The display is actually really nice here. In fact, this is a 3:2 aspect ratio, which I really like. So you're going to see more on the display. It'll do less scrolling when it comes to web browsing. It is also a touchscreen display. So that is really good. Now, they used to have, if you remember a few generations back, pen support for this, for the Surface Pen and stuff like that, but this does not have that. So no pen support on this one. But if you want pen support, get the Surface Pro, which is back there. And again, they're offering that in an Intel variant for businesses as well. So yes, I think this color is nice. I think the display is nice. They slimmed out the bezels like they did on the Snapdragon versions. That was one of the things in years past I didn't love about this. It has a nice camera here. It's an IR camera, so that's good. But this display, to me, is really good. Small bezels, and the black hides it nicely. I think this looks really, really sleek looking. This is a really nice overall package. Now, the build on this is rock solid. This is MacBook-esque, and that is a compliment, obviously. The screen goes back as far as you see here, and I think, to me, this is a premier Windows laptop. So if you don't want a MacBook or MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, I think this is one to really consider. Now, if we want to take a look at, and we'll look at some of the benchmarks I've already gotten here. So this is the ThinkPad X9 Aura Edition. This is the 14-inch, obviously, that I purchased as well. And as you can see, this one is also Lunar Lake, right? So the Aura Edition, of course, is that collaboration between Intel and Lenovo to add a few things. But the bottom line is they're basically the same chipset, right? But although this one is the Core Ultra 7 258V, although you can get it with the 268V as well, but this one is the 258V. So let me log in with the Windows Hello. Boom, there you go. Now, this one has a 2.8K OLED display. This is IPS, right? So IPS is going to be good. I think you'll get a little bit better battery life, although the battery life has been very good on this. Check out my review. I'll put a link when we're done so you can check it out. And I would say that these are so comparable. Now, what I loved about this one is the fact that this has been very aggressive in pricing. I think you can definitely get this a lot cheaper than some of the ones we've looked at, particularly that HP EliteBook X G1A, which came in pretty high, but although you can get 128 gigabytes of memory on that one. Wow. And that thing has been blowing me away. I'll have a full review on that soon. I have it here. But this keyboard, both of these keyboards are great. I love this ThinkPad keyboard on this one, though. I got to tell you, it's a little different than the X1 Carbon that we talked about. But this one on the X9 is a really nice keyboard. There's something satisfying about it. This one, I think, is a little bit more quiet on this one. You will definitely see it. Now, they both have Sensel touchpads. Now, the difference is This one is licensed by Microsoft. So Microsoft takes the technology from Sensel and incorporates it into their own touchpad. And by the way, works really great. So great job there. And this one is totally done by Sensel. So not only do they have the haptic technology, but they actually have they did the actual physical touchpad on this. So the haptics are very good on both of these. One thing that people were complaining, and I think it's been corrected here, and I hope Sensel's watching. If not, let us know in a comment. But when you scroll with two fingers, you notice how it still goes. It wasn't doing that before, from what I think people were complaining about. I think I got that correct, right? So look, it's working on here. So it's working very well. When you see the scrolling on this, it is very, very good. So I think, to me, the haptics on this touchpad are sensational. And again, using Sensel haptic technology has been great. Now, so this looks really good. I'm going to do a head-to-head comparison between these two, and rest assured, we're going to see which one comes out on top. I can recommend both of these. Having used this one briefly and having used this one pretty extensively for the last few weeks, this has become my favorite laptop. This one is got to be in the running, right? So that is the X9. We'll come back to this in a moment. We also have, if I can reach it, we have a MacBook Pro here. So this is the MacBook Pro 14, right? So let me log in with my password here. So let me put it on me for a second. Okay, so I have the nano texture display on this one. That means you're going to get the least amount of glare and reflection. And so here's the deal with the, let me just close these windows here. So here's the deal on this one. So this one has that nano texture display, right? So if you want to compare these two, this is a more glossy display. This has a great haptic touchpad as well, the MacBook, obviously. But this one has that nano texture on the display. It's also mini LED. They're both 120 hertz. This has the dynamic refresh rate. This has also something they call the ProMotion, very similar. This is definitely two that you want to look at. Now, this is the base model M4. You can get it with the M4 Pro, the M4 Max. Now, check this out. Look how dirty this keyboard is. Again, very similar black color. This is space black. This is the standard black on the Surface laptop for business. This gets a little grimy. This is a little kind of gross, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I should have wiped it down, but and within a few minutes, this will be junked up again. So I just wanted to keep it the way it is so you can see how it is in real world usage. And I will say this, this has been great in performance. This will not be quite as good as the single and multi-core, and we'll get to that in a moment, as this is. This will definitely have better single and multi-core. But in real world usage, when you're doing Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, on things you're going to do with this, these are both very good, and this will certainly be great. Now, this has something it doesn't have. It has a touchscreen. It has face recognition to log you in with the IR camera. This doesn't have that. And you won't have any compatibility issues. You can play more games on this one, even though this has gotten better. You can definitely see the difference in terms of what you can run on this. So definitely that is the MacBook Pro. Now, we're going to get to the comments and questions, I promise. I know we're trying to move along here. A lot to cover here as we have over 200 of you watching. So let's show you some of the benchmarks here. And let me put it on me. So I was able to run a few benchmarks, and it's pretty much what we'd expect from Lunar Lake here. So let me go here, boom, and Surface Laptop for Business. So here we have, this was the initial one that I ran on the last night, which was a 9,000 plus, 2,600. And that's about what you'd expect from a Core Ultra 5. This is the 236V. So we looked at the 226V previously. Now, this is the OpenCL. So this is the Intel Arc Graphics 130V. And yes, it is possible, Victor, to replace the SSD. I showed a little video earlier that Microsoft does. You can replace it. It's not hard. And then this is the Vulkan score, 30,378. And this is the color gamut that I ran with my colorimeter, 100% sRGB, 87% Adobe, 98% of the P3, and 85% NTSC, which is excellent. These are very good for color grading and stuff like that. And then this is the brightness. So 100%, you just under 596. So very close to the 600 nits. I'll run this again. Great contrast, great black level, good white point, and very good Delta E score, 0.87. So this is a really nice display. So the lower, the better on the Delta E, more color accurate, and that's the overall score. And then when I was running the Cinebench here, you can see it did heat up. Now, this is one thing I did notice here, 45, 44 degrees Celsius, which is a little bit higher than I'd like. I'm not sure what was going on. I'll rerun that for the full review. On the underside, stayed relatively cool. Where the heating vent is over there in the back, of course, that's where it will warm up the most, but where you place it on your lap was not very bad. Here is my Cinebench 2024. I ran it with the minimum test duration off. I will do a thermal throttling test. I haven't had a chance to run that yet, but good single core, 112, which is very good, and 524. Again, pretty much what we'd expect with Lunar Lake, and certainly good for what you need to do with this laptop. And then here's how quiet it is. And look at that, 33, maybe 34, most maybe 35 decibels, which is very quiet, folks. This is a very quiet laptop, so pretty good on that regard. So that is the score. Now, let me put it back over here. This was the speedometer 3.0 test that I ran last night. Not too bad. And then this is the speed of the SSD, which, by the way, is removable. I have the basic 256. Now, I didn't go for anything higher because I'm going to be putting in my own 2230 terabyte in. So I didn't need to spend the extra money. I have one here. I won't be doing that right now, but I will be putting it on soon. But this is what you get with that base level 256. I recommend, if anybody's going to buy this, don't get anything with less than 512. And I would prefer you get with 1 terabyte if you can afford it. So these are the reads and writes. So that is the, so far, the initial benchmarks I was able to get with this unit. And it's pretty much in line. Again, expect a little bit better results if you get the Core Ultra 7 268V, which is the top model. And again, there are many different variations on this, but that is where we are so far. Now, let's take a look at the, and then again, I promise we will go back to the comments and questions, but let's look at the camera here. I haven't looked at it yet, but let's get an idea of it. And so let me close this, and let me put this down here, and let me go to camera. And this has, again, a 1080p camera here. So it's an IR camera. That means you can log in with face recognition, and it's going to have the studio effects. Again, it is an AI PC or Copilot Plus PC, right? So here it is, and as you can see, this is what it looks like. Let me go to the settings here. The video settings are on 1080p right now. And as you can see, let's go back over here. You can see, looks pretty good. Let me know what you think about it. There is no fingerprint scanner, I don't think. No, there's no fingerprint scanner on this. And we'll look at the ports in a moment. We'll also get a measurement of the weight before we forget. I also want to show you the box it came in. It's a little different with the business than it is for the consumer. We'll look at that in a moment as well. But here's the camera. Let me know what you think. You have all the studio effects here. You can do the auto framing, the background blur, the standard blur, the portrait blur, and then the auto framing. If you move out of frame, it will follow you at some point. Yep, there it is. So that is that, right? So that is the camera. All right, so that is the camera. Now, let's take a quick look at the ports real quick, actually. And let's put it over here, and we can look at it over here. So on the left side is a USB-A port, right? So that's always good. I love having that. And you have 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports. They are full function. One thing, they're both on the left side. Obviously, there are 2 Thunderbolt on this. We'll look at the other side. I wish these were split up. So that's one little nitpick there. And then on this side, you have just 1 port, and that's a Surface Connect port. Now, unlike the 15-inch, you don't get the micro SD card reader. That's the one thing you do get extra with the 15-inch that the 13.8-inch doesn't have. So if you need to have storage expansion, if you want to have an SD card reader, micro SD card rather, then you will have to go with that one. And of course, that one's right over here. This is the Snapdragon version. The only difference is, again, this one has this micro SD card reader next to the Surface Connect port. Now, no HDMI. So I would personally prefer an HDMI port instead of having that Surface Connect port. They want to be like Apple, you know, whatever. I think having an HDMI would have been better. That's me personally, but some people would prefer that. And again, I wish the 13.8-inch also had the micro SD card reader. All right, camera looks good according to William. Brad says cool. Camera's nice. Richie says yes to the micro SD card reader and 5G chip. So I don't know, and again, I'm not given anything from Microsoft here, so I don't know if there's a 5G version of the laptop. I understand there is one for the Surface Pro for business that they're going to offer with 5G. And what's weird is they're offering the Snapdragon version also for business, but they're not offering the Lunar Lake to the consumer. And I don't know if that's the right strategy, to be honest with you. So I don't know. Good to see. Sensel was here last night leaving this. Yes, they did the X9 14-inch. They did the touchpad on there, the trackpad. The haptic is really good. I can compare this movie synopsis to the X9. We're going to definitely do a head-to-head. Perfect laptop, according to Abdullah. Yeah, Dominic, here are you doing, my friend? David Probezel from Slovakia. Really like your videos. Will you do Lenovo Slim 7i 14-inch? I reached out to Lenovo. I should be getting it soon, so stay tuned. The white aluminum color looks nice. So you can get it in the two colors here, right? So this is the platinum and this is the black. So you can see the difference between the two here. And here's the platinum on the Surface Pro, by the way, for those wondering. This, of course, is that. Now, let's take a measurement of the weight. So for those wondering, so here is the scale. Let me put these back over here. And let's put this on. So I haven't measured this yet. So let's put it into kilograms. And with just the unit alone, you're looking at 1.337 kilograms or 1.338 kilograms, and that is 2 pounds, 15.2 ounces. So that is the weight on this. So not too bad. Now, one of the reasons I didn't show you the unboxing is a couple of reasons. One, there was going to be updates. And two, there's nothing special about this box. So, oops, sorry, wrong button I hit. So this box is just a plain Jane. And when you open it up, like I did, and again, I had to run those updates. So all you get is that it comes in this felt packaging or whatever. And then that's it, a plain brown box. So I guess it's a better for the environment, I guess. It's not going to be as fancy as the Surface box that I have here. Hold on. So that's a far cry from this, right? So this was the box for the Snapdragon version. And this does not come in a box like this, right? So this comes in this very plain looking box here. And you get your power charger here. So this is that standard charger, and I can show you here. Whatever it is it 36 watts or whatever? I don't even know. We can even open this up, and maybe we can see what the hell it is. Yeah, so here's the charger. It's a 39 watt. So it's a 39 watt with a Surface Connect port, right? And it comes with this extension cord here in the US. Obviously, it'll be different in Europe and other places. So that is the charger. In fact, we can get a weight with everything all in, so you can get the full effect here. So that's nothing special with regards to the packaging. And so with the unit alone, let's put it back into kilograms once it loads in here. Okay, so this is with the unit alone. 1.336 now. So it's varying a little bit. That's okay. And then we have the power charger and the power cord, 1.544 kilograms, and that is 3 pounds, 6.5 ounces. Not a bad weight for traveling with, right? How many frames per second in Cyberpunk? You're probably going to get, it depends on which setting, but I don't think more than 30, maybe less. Just depends on which setting you put it at. It's not meant for playing Cyberpunk. Let's be clear about that. You can play some GTA 5. You can play other games. I'll put you all the numbers in the full review that is coming. So don't expect to be playing Cyberpunk on the highest settings. It's not in the cards. You may be able to play it with that Asus ROG that I have here. Let's just show you. I can't wait to give you the review on this. So this has a Strix Halo. Oh, man, this thing is so nice. So here we have it here. So this has been freaking awesome. So there's been a lot of reviews on this already. Republic of Gamers, here it says over here. And I got to tell you, I am super impressed with this one. We'll just turn it on for a moment. Just a little bonus here. What do you think about this, right? So this looks, I think it looks great. So this has 180 hertz display. It is 2.5K, something like that. It's a 3:2 aspect ratio. This thing has been freaking awesome. Now, this is running the, let me put this on me for a second, and we'll get back to the Surface in a moment. But I wanted to show you this real quick. I will have this weekend probably. So this is the display here. Pretty awesome. It's got a Surface-like keyboard here, which is really good. And it's been pretty good. So you can go all the way down as you see here. It's a touchscreen display. It has pen support. I was able to use my HP Tilt pen here. Well, one of these worked on this. Yeah, this one works. I think this is HP, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this is the display there. The other thing about this is it has the Radeon 8060S graphics, and the thing has been pretty awesome. I ran some initial benchmarks here, and if I go to my pictures here, screenshots, we can probably get a look at some of this. Let me load this in just real quick, because I know we're not meant to do this today, but I'm so excited about this one. So let me put this on here. So here is the some of the benchmarks here. So this was the initial benchmark that I ran. So this was a little bit on the low. I actually got 21 later, I think, or something over 20. Look at that. OpenCL, 85,725. Vulkan score, 75,394. Very good display. Look at those numbers. Nearly 100% sRGB, 90% Adobe, 96p3, 533 nits of screen brightness, 1220 to 1 contrast ratio, 0.59 what do you call it? Delta E. So it's very color accurate. So check this out. Over 1,400. I actually got over 1,500 on the multi-core and 114 on the single core. It's a beast. There I got over 20,000 on the multi-core. I reran it, and nearly 3,000 on the single core. OpenCL went up to 91,000. Vulkan went up to 78,000. So those are some of the initial benchmarks I ran on this. I will show you more about this in the upcoming review, which will be coming, should be this weekend. I know there's been a lot of hype on this. Strix Halo on this, 16 cores, 24 threads, I think, whatever it is. Let me see here. So let me go to system. This one is the AMD Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 with the Radeon 8060S graphics. This is the best integrated graphics solution on the market. And you can, by the way, get this with up to 128 gigabytes of memory. This is 32. So for those wondering, right? So that is coming. Just wanted to tease that a little bit. What do you think? All right, so getting back to this, which is a little bit more pedestrian in terms of performance, but different type of product, totally. This is a different type of product. But I got to tell you, for what this has been really good so far. So we looked at the camera, we looked at the ports, we looked at some of the benchmarks on this. Let's give it a listen to the sound, right? So let me load in Epidemic Sound as we are now at 33 minutes. We have 209 people total watching. I'm streaming, and not only YouTube, but X, formerly known as Twitter. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. We only have, I think, 64 likes. I'm not sure what's going on there. Please include, I did in my reviews. Yeah. So I just did this one. This one came in at 25.1. So again, I have the Core Ultra 5 268 VO. I don't have this connected. Hold on. So you can see it here, actually. I don't have to connect it. You can see it there. That was the score I got. In fact, we could run it real quick, and then we'll do the sound test. Here it is again, not the speed test, but rather speedometer 3.0. So here's the speedometer 3.0. Let me plug it in. And by the way, I did run it on battery. I didn't see a huge difference between battery and plugged in. And I'll talk more about that in the upcoming review. I didn't see a big degradation when you unplug it. So I think they did a good job here with Lunar Lake, matching performance, whether you're plugged in or on battery, which is pretty good. So there you go, Duck Vision. How are you, my friend? All right. We're now up to 80. So that's better. We're doing better on the likes. And do me a favor, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you watch casually, you like the content, why not hit that subscribe button? It certainly helps me get more growth of the channel. Obviously, it helps me get more access to the brands and so forth, more products. We're pushing, I think we're at almost at 187,000. So we've been really good push right now. We need to get it to 200 as soon as possible. So let's do the job. 26.5 is the score I got right now. Let me take a screenshot and let me hit that full screen. Boom. There you go. Now, let me go to Epidemic Sound. All right. Whew, I'm like rapid fire today, right? As we have a good turnout here. So let me log in. All right. So let me get this going. I'm really liking this, by the way, quite a bit. And this was this didn't come in this box. It came in that brown box. That's one difference when you're buying it from a business focused site as opposed to their consumer site. All right, so let's bring out the X9. We're going to compare these two. Let me load this in, and then we'll do the MacBook. All right, so here we go. All right, so on the left is the Surface laptop for business. On the right is the ThinkPad X9 14-inch Gen 1, right? Or edition. Okay, so here we go. Let's do our test. We'll just do the one we normally do. If we're going to start switching it up soon anyway. Okay, so let me make sure volume is at 100% on the... And by the way, Dolby Atmos. I believe this has quad speakers. Let me just bring up the specs real quick, just to remind me. Omnisonic speakers, again, under the keyboard. I believe they're quad speakers, again, Dolby Atmos, so I don't know. But they sound good. But you let me know what you think, okay? Let me get this on 100% volume. We're getting this all set up here live. That's on 100%. Okay, so let's give this a listen and you let me know. Here's the X9. Surface. X9. Okay, so they both sounded good. I think, is it the X9 maybe? I don't know. I think it's a toss-up. What do you think? Let me know. Now, let's close the X9 and let's bring out the MacBook. So this, to me, is the best, right? One of the best, if not the best sound in the business. And let me put it on me as I get it logged in. And let me go to Epidemic Sound. And we're already still there from the last time, so that's good. All right, so let's put that on 100% volume and let's rewind the Surface. Go back to there. All right, let's do the Surface first and then we'll listen to the MacBook second. Oh, I closed this for some reason. Let's put the sound meter there. Okay, let's listen. MacBook Pro. Okay, I think the MacBook wins that one, right? Although this is a very nice, clean sound. They both are really good. This is a little bit more fidelity, more oomph, I think. I thought that X9 sounded good. I see where people are saying this is a cleaner sound on the Surface. I definitely agree with that. So very good on both of these in terms of the sound. So on all three of the ones we just did. In fact, let's see if there's a difference between the Snapdragon 15-inch and this. Now, the 15-inch might have a better sound just simply because it's just bigger and might have a better reverberance, if that's a word. So let me log in here. It may just sound better just because it has more room to emanate that sound. Epidemic. All right, so let me log in. And this will be the last sound test to do. All right, so on the right, obviously, is the 15-inch Snapdragon X Elite version. It's the 8100, I believe, on this one. And then on the left, obviously, is the Lunar Lake business version. And then, of course, let's listen to them. All right, so let me rewind this and let me go over here to saved, boom. And let me go to the same song here. Okay, so we're at 100% volume on both. There we go. And this one, make sure it's on 100% once again. Yep, that's it. Let's give these a listen. Surface Laptop 15 Snapdragon. Call me crazy. I think the 13.8 inch sounds better. I agree, William. I think the black one sounds better. They're similar, but I think this has a tad more oomph, if that means anything. That's weird. I didn't expect that. So this sounds a little bit better. Not sure what's going on there, but definitely really good on this 13.8 inch. All right, so that is that. So what's the difference? Okay, so this is running Snapdragon X Elite. This will have better performance, multi-core for sure. but you won't have any of the compatibility issues on this one, right? So this one will run all your apps. It is Intel x86. Some apps still have some issues with this. Gaming will be better on this one, just simply because they'll run pretty much, if it can run, it'll run on that. Here you might have some hit or miss in terms of gaming. It's gotten better, but again, it just depends on what you're looking for in a laptop. So they're definitely want to keep that in mind, right? All right, so where are we? We're at about 45 minutes. Let me get to some of your comments and questions here. So the MacBook has better bass. I agree. Mac sounded the best to me. It looked like a Dell now. I don't know. I don't know what that. No, this more looks more like a MacBook, if anything. Murdered by the MacBook. I guess the sound is better on that one. You're saying the design of the Lenovo is just okay. Not everybody's loving the design of the X9. All right. I like it, but that's just me. Great stuff from AC. For me, a good screen and audio is very important, and this has both. I agree. I agree, Pedro. Form factor. According to you, which is the Surface is best in terms of... I personally like the laptop form factor over the... And this is the obviously the Pro version here with the detachable keyboard. So you can see them here. So this one has a different form factor. Again, if you're looking for tablet, if you're looking for OLED, that's the other thing. You can get this with the OLED. I don't have the OLED here. This is the IPS. But you can get this with OLED. This you can't. I wish they would have offered this with the same OLED for this one, right? So as you get on this one. So that's one thing I would have definitely liked, but we don't get that. Do you feel, according to Agent 091, do you feel that the experience, not the performance with the Lunar Lake match or exceed the cool, quiet battery life experience of the X Elite? Yes, I do. I hear in real world usage, I can put it on me. In real world usage, yes. I think that's why I think Lunar Lake has a leg up between you and me. I think Lunar Lake, you don't have any compatibility issues, and you're going to get enough performance out of the Lunar Lake that it makes it worth it, because you're not going to have the performance or the compatibility issues, and you're going to get the efficiency. And the battery life, to me, is very similar, if not better sometimes on Lunar Lake. So you're getting the efficiency, you're getting the cool and quiet, but you're also getting no compatibility issues. And I think that's a big deal, especially when it comes to drivers and stuff like that. So that's just me. I like where Snapdragon's going. ARM, it's going to get better, but are we there 100%? Not yet. We're not yet there. We're getting there, but not yet. But we're on the way. You have to go through these stages to get there, right? Will I review the X9 15 from ThinkPad from Lenovo? Currently waiting the better speakers on that one versus the 14-inch and the USB-C. I will hopefully get it from Lenovo. We'll see. I'm still waiting. I have the 14-inch. I went out and I bought that. And speaking of which, I went out and I bought this one. So I'm been out of pocket a lot of money lately. So help me out. At least subscribe, right? At least subscribe. That helps me grow the channel, and we're making strides. We're now at we're nearly 187,000 right now. We've grown last couple of days quite a bit. So thank you. The push to the 200,000 campaign has been really working out. I'm at 186,928. So we only need another, what is that? 72 to get to 187. So we're inching closer to that 200,000 subscriber mark. I think the AMD chips are better. Oh, yeah. Well, we're talking between the Snapdragon and the Intel, but that Strix Halo and the Strix Point, to me, those are the best performance. Now, the best is going to be the M series, the M4 series. That's going to have the highest synthetic benchmark results when we're talking single multi-core. The MacBooks are going to be the top dog, and they have been, and they've done some pretty amazing stuff with their chips. But not everybody wants to be in the Mac OS ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem, and they want to run other things. They don't want to run that. And yes, you can emulate it. It's not the same, but some people just don't want to be in the Mac or the Apple ecosystem. That's it. Greetings from Italy. Good to see you, Elia. Nice. Thank you. All the way from Italy. One of my favorite places. Do you think the OLED experience on the Surface devices is inferior to other OLEDs because of the pen digitizer layer on these? because of the screen door effect and all that. Not really. I think they're excellent OLED displays. And having the pen, by the way, this is the pen that we're talking about. Having the pen, this Slim Pen 2, Surface Slim Pen 2, is pretty good. It's great for taking notes and doing everything on this and so forth. So it is pretty good. And I use it quite a bit to take notes, sketch out artwork and stuff when I want to sketch out a diagram or something. But yeah, I hope Apple releases a true Surface killer in March. What are they going to release? And how, in this form factor, they're not doing that. They have the iPad. They're not going to cannibalize their sales. They're not going to put touch on their laptop. So how is that, Victor? How is that going to be? Are you looking for a new MacBook Air? I'm not, that's a very different kind. I mean, yeah, this can compare it to MacBook Air. This is pretty silent, by the way. This has been pretty good. That's going to be completely silent. But again, no active cooling means it's going to throttle down when you are doing any sustained workload. So just keep that in mind. In my case, let's give time to mature. Then we can try one of these Snapdragons. Yeah. So Pedro, I agree. It's getting better. I like it. Look, if you keep it simple, and this is my advice, if all you're doing is web browsing, things you're going to do on a laptop you travel with or you take with you on the go quite a bit, you go back and forth, home office to home, to the work and back to the home office, you're going to have great experience because you're going to be able to do the web browsing. You're going to get great battery life. It's going to run Office apps and so forth. And you're going to have everything you can do on this, but not being x86. Now, where you're going to run into some trouble is the highly specialized apps, the x86 apps. Some of them won't work. Now, Prism does a good job, but again, not perfect, right? It's a much better what they had before, that's for sure. The new Lunar Lake laptop prices do not justify the performance. One of the things, Tushar, that one of the reasons we saw the Snapdragon X, we were promised under like $600, right? Like $599 and below, or $699 and below. We didn't quite see that with that the one I just did, which was the Asus ZenBook A14 with that Ceraluminum body and the sub 1 kilogram weight. That's a great laptop, and check out the video if you didn't see it. But what I will say is it's more expensive than anticipated. Now, they do have one coming, I think, at Best Buy at any moment that's going to be $899, and it's going to be a little different SKUs. We'll talk more about that soon, but that's still not the price we were looking for with the Snapdragon X one. That's the entry-level, bottom-level one that we saw. So not bad, though. By the way, Snapdragon X is pretty good for what you need it to do. There is no question. Great battery life. Check out that review. Would you go for a Surface or Lenovo X9, the 14-inch? So the ThinkPad X9 is great. So this is a little bit more understated, if I want to say. I mean, this is a sleek looking. If you want a Windows that looks like a MacBook, this is pretty darn close, right? I mean, if you're looking for that aesthetic, it's very similar to a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air. Would I choose this? I like the ThinkPad keyboard quite a bit. This is good, but I like the ThinkPad keyboard on that X9 quite a bit. They both have great touchpads, so I think that's a wash. They're both Sensal haptic touchpads, so I think it's a toss-up. It just depends. It depends on what you're looking for. They're both running this pretty similar chipset, obviously Lunar Lake, so you're going to get pretty similar performance, so we'll see. Strix Halo works on 40 watt to 120. Lunar Lake works on 117 to 30. They are not the same kind of chip. No, Strix Halo is very different, and I'll show you that when I released that video on that one back there. So that has been pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, Strix Halo is pretty special. It's a special chip, I think, and we'll talk more about that very soon. Asus VivoBook S14 on the Surface. I like the price of the VivoBook, but if you can afford this, go for this. This is more premium. Although I like what they're giving you for the price on the VivoBooks. I think it's good bang for the buck. This is more expensive, but you're getting a more premium feel and look with this one. Any news on when the X1 2-in-1 Aura is coming? I don't have any news. Once I do, I will let you know. I don't have anything right now. Does the display reflect less on the Snapdragon? I think they have a similar coating. Again, I have a lot of lights here. Let's see here. So this is the Snapdragon, and again, they are reflective. And I would like to see a matte version. but you can sort of see here they're both pretty reflective, although they've put a better anti-reflective coating than years past. So that's one thing they did. They also slimmed out the bezels, which was sorely needed. But I think overall these are pretty nice displays. Again, they're IPS, they're not OLED, and I would like an OLED offering. I was kind of hoping we'd see one on the laptop like we got on the Surface Pro. We don't get that here, but not very good. Not good, a good coding, Richie. Which one is not good for coding? This one? Let us know. I'm not a coder, so I'm not the person to ask. All right. Where are we? We're at about 55 minutes. And I don't know when the Surface Laptop Studio 3 is coming, hopefully soon. Wow, this has been a lot of fun, people. I'll keep it up for replay. So if you didn't check it out, you can see all the pricing and everything. I left links for everything in the description below. I want to thank the moderators for doing such a great job. I will have complete reviews on this one, obviously, and I'll compare it to the X9 ThinkPad. I think that's what a lot of people are wanting to see. I have a lot coming. I have the Dell Pro 14 Premium review coming. That's worked. By the way, spoiler, battery on that is unreal. I'm trying to kill the battery. I still can't kill the battery on that thing. I think I did. Just to give you an idea, we're looking at 25 hours of video playback plus. So that just gives you an idea. The battery life is going to be great on that. All right. I will see everybody in the next one. Have a great weekend. I have lots to come, especially that Strix Halo product from the Asus ROG, the Flow Z13. That is amazing. I'll see everybody next time. Have a great weekend and see you in the next video.